What's up? Happy afternoon. Is that right? Is it happy afternoon? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Not happy afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey, you guys. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Let me do my quick roll call. See who was in the room. Dominique was the first one in the room. Hey, boo. Hey, Nico, Abby. Hey, Xavier. Lil Mackie. Hey, Zara. Hey. Hey, Nicole. Tracy. Yes. Lil Baby. C Golden. Creative Diva. Diva Law. Got a bunch of divas in here. Hey, Diamond Pearl, my DMV sister. Hey, Travel Love. Miss Trisha. Hey, Abby. And hey, Danny. Special shout out to all my members, everybody that is in green. Special shout out to you guys. So, good afternoon to everybody. Happy hump day to ya. Hope everybody is doing well. This edition of the tribe is going to be all housewives. Okay, we got a bunch of housewives stuff to get to. So if you're not a housewives fan, you might not care. But we got a bunch of housewives and stuff to get to. First of all, we're going to knock out the easy one. Wait a minute. Do I have any announcements to make first? Hold on. Let me make sure I don't have no announcements to make. Hold on a quick second, y'all. Hold on. I got to check something. Hold on. Okay. Hey, Cameron. What's up, Quintessential? Hey, keep it cute. Been in bed for 2 weeks. Oh, no. I hope you're feeling better. You've been in bed sick for 2 weeks. Oh, my goodness. I hope you're feeling better, babes. Sorry to hear that. Y'all, listen. For all those that know the word of prayer, and I ain't even playing right now. I'm being so serious. For all those that know the word of prayer, can y'all pray that the part I'm waiting on for my air conditioner to come in? It was supposed to be here Monday. It's Wednesday. Now, the Lord has blessed me, okay? For the exception of those first 2 days, the weather has been really great and tolerable. It hasn't been too hot. It's been good. I've been able to sleep. I've been able to move around the house. You see, I ain't been naked on camera. But the temperatures are supposed to go back up towards the end of this week. Please and thank you. You see, that's why my hair not done. Because I was like, I'm not about to pay to get my hair done just to sweat it out again. I'm not doing that. And I'm about to get my braids in. I'm going my braids next week. I said, well, at this point, you don't need me going to get my hair done just to turn around and get braids put in next week. So listen, I'm so serious when I say, can y'all please just pray? Because the guy was like, the part not in. He even showed me the text message from the manager at the warehouse where he goes, and the part ain't here. So I know he not lying to me. He said he's going to try to find, he's going to tap into maybe some other places and see if they have it. Well, Xavier, listen, I'm sorry that it's 111 there in Vegas. I told you, that's why I don't do Vegas in the summer. No, ma'am. That's why I don't do Vegas in the summer. No, ma'am. Speaking of Vegas, Abby, I got something I need to tell you later on. I have been naked on camera. Mm-hmm. Oh, you having a flare up. Oh, wow. Oh, 2 days, not weeks. Okay, because I was like, girl, 2 weeks. I'm sorry, but I mean, 2 days is still bad if you're not feeling well. So we're gonna all add Tracy to the prayer because I'm praying for, comfort. She's praying for health. So y'all add Tracy to that. So before we jump in, not before we jump into that. Well, I'm gonna go on and make the announcement. We got almost 40 people in the room. I'm gonna go ahead. No, I'm not. I'm teasing y'all, ain't I? I'm gonna make it at the end. I'm gonna make the announcement. I got an announcement to make, y'all. I'm gonna do it at the end. Soak your feet in ice water. I know it sounds weird, but that mess helps keep you cool. Oh, you talking to me? I thought you were talking to Tracy about her flare up. Girl, you talking to me, child? You talking to me? Okay. Girl. All right, let's jump into this. So first of all, let me say this. Hey, Monk Chip, I see people speaking to you. Quit playing with my emotions. I'm gonna make the announcement before we get off of here. I am. While the DMV humidity and heat is no joke, I just moved away from there after 20 years, keeping you in prayer, child. You understand you understand, okay? I was without AC for almost 12 hours. I'll keep you in my prayers. Listen. And like I said, the weather has been very cooperative, so I can't even complain about that. But listen, the Lord been holding off for long enough. It's supposed to be back in the 90s by the end of the week. So, and I'm trying not to spend a whole lot of money before I go on vacation. So I'm trying not to go get a hotel room and all that other stuff. I'm trying not to have to do all of that. But anyway, all right. So let's start with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to tell you why we're going to start with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I told y'all I wasn't going to keep talking about this situation, and they keep making me talk about this situation. So I'm going to say it, and then we ain't going to spend too much time on it, honey, and we're going to get on up out of here. Your silk press and mess it up. So allegedly, B. Scott is reporting that allegedly Simon and Fallon had an open marriage, and that they were always looking for a third person to join them. Let me say this. Number one, I'm not surprised. Let's just be clear. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that, this is all allegedly, but I'm not surprised. Okay. But again, that further lends to what I'm saying about this whole situation being a breakup to make up. Now, I know people I have friends, I've told you guys this before, I have friends who are in alternative lifestyles. So there is a way to cheat even in an open marriage. Some people think, well, if it's an open marriage, you can't cheat. Yes, there is. Because a lot of times people who are in open marriages, they do still have rules. There's still things that you can and cannot do. You have to get permission. The person has to be approved. It has to be, you can't do it by yourself. Like, there are things that go into an open marriage and an open relationship. But the rules are up to those individual couples. So if Simon and Fallon were in an open relationship, it is still feasible that Simon could have been cheating on her or she could have been cheating on him. Just because they indulge in those things doesn't automatically mean that, y'all understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to get into the whole, well, ain't no way in the world he could have been cheating if, no, I ain't going to get into that. But it just further lends to what I've been saying about this whole situation, and how I feel like Portia is a pawn in this game. Now, whether she's a willing pawn or whether she's been placed in the pawn position. But Fallon and Simon are playing chess. They're playing chess. And this is what they do. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. This is what they do. They're playing chess, and this is what they do, child. Listen, how do we put these thirst buckets out of our misery? Listen, I said I wasn't going to keep talking about them, and that's all I'm going to say. We ain't spending no more time than that on them. That's it. That's all. We moving on. Bloop and bloop. Oh, Zara, what's wrong with Zara? Hold on, y'all. Let me scroll back up. We're going to have to pull out the whole prayer cloth, honey. Oh, no. Did you mention that before, Zara? Definitely praying for you. I'm glad that you're out of the hospital, but definitely praying, because I know that just because you're out of the hospital, it doesn't mean that everything is everything. So definitely. And Portia isn't smart enough to play checkers. I think she's smart enough to play checkers. I just don't know if she's smart enough to be playing the chess game that the two of them are playing. That's just how I feel about it. But we'll see. We're moving on. We're done with them. We're moving on. Little baby, I know you know the answer to this question I'm about to ask you. When does The Real Housewives of Miami start streaming on Peacock? I know you know. If you could tell me, please, that would be great. If you could let me know, that would be great. So last night, a couple of news stories broke. Thank y'all. Y'all told me that y'all are enjoying my little quick drops when I just came on to get y'all a little this and a little that last night. When as different things come through, I'm trying to do that for y'all, so I appreciate it. But something came through last night. Now we did know that last season of the Real Housewives of Orange County was very lackluster. We know that. That was my first season watching. That was my first season watching. And y'all told me that it really wasn't the best season, that the season wasn't really that great of a season, and that I really, either should go back and look at old seasons or stick with it till next season, right? That's what I was told, okay? So even Bravo wasn't happy with the ratings were in the bucket. Now, from my understanding, they fired during last cycle, they fired two of the heavy hitters on the show, Tamara Judge and the other young lady. And that may have contributed to the ratings plummeting. Now, what we have found out last night is, because remember we kept saying that the Real Housewives of Orange County hadn't started filming, but these other, New Jersey started filming last week. Atlanta is supposed to start filming before the end of the month. We know Salt Lake City is done. Their second season is already done. We don't have an air date for it yet, but it's a wrap. So it was like, well, how in the world is Orange County hasn't even started filming for their next season yet? When their season came out, I think they were running parallel with Salt Lake City. I think Orange County and Salt Lake City was running together. So Tamara and Vicky, thank you. There's no official date. Thank you, little baby. So we knew that they were looking for some sort of major shakeup to happen. We knew that was what they were looking for. I'm sorry. I keep pausing because what I need to make the announcement, this is all in reference to that. All right. So yesterday it was released that there was a major cast shakeup over to the Real Housewives of Orange County. Now, we know that last week we heard that Heather was coming back. Heather Dubrow was coming back. Her husband is a plastic surgeon. He is partners with Adrian Moloff, ex-husband from the first season of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And she was on the show before for a couple of seasons. And then, what's up, El Teddy? Mwah! And then she left the show, whether it was voluntarily or not, child. But we did find out that she's coming back. What we didn't know was who wasn't coming back. So let's talk about who's not coming back. Elizabeth Lynn Vargas is not coming back. Now, let's be clear. We ain't losing nothing with her. Elizabeth never really got her footing as far as I'm concerned. It was her first year, but her whole storyline was about this husband that she was divorcing that she couldn't talk about. She lied or misrepresented herself the entire season about how rich she was and how independently wealthy she was and how she was going to get this big settlement from this millionaire husband of hers, this billionaire husband of hers, only to get towards the end of the season and found out that the divorce isn't going as planned and that she may not get as much as she thought she was going to get. The house that she claimed she owned on the beach, she was actually renting, and she was renting out her actual house. And even the Porsche that she bragged about she was buying and then was going to end up donating it to charity, that never happened either. By the end of the season, she did try to turn it up a little bit and started telling us the story of the cult. I feel like if she had led with the cult, because let's be clear, you divorcing your rich husband and getting a big settlement, that's nothing new. That's nothing new, and that's nothing major. That storyline is on every housewife show, we have an example of that. So that's not even a major thing. But you being a part of a cult and your mama having to like get y'all off of the cult, having to sneak y'all out in a 18-wheeler, that's a story. I feel like you should have led with that one, Elizabeth. I feel like you should have led with that. Okay, that's number one. Second person that's not coming out. Nothing was lost for her. She's not reality TV material. Yeah. What Housewives branches do people here watch normally and now? I've always watched from the beginning, mainly Atlanta, Beverly Hills, Potomac, and now Salt Lake and New York. I watch all of them except for New York at this point. I just started watching New Jersey and I just started watching the OC. But I've been watching Dallas from the beginning, Beverly Hills from the beginning, minus I did take off a few. I stopped watching when Brandy was there. I couldn't do her. I just couldn't do Brandy. I watched Atlanta most seasons. I didn't watch the Claudia Jordan. I couldn't do her. And I've watched all of Potomac. And I just started New Jersey. But at this point, the only franchise that I don't watch is New York. So there's that. Then we have Bronwyn. Now, Bronwyn, her big storyline this season was that she revealed that she was an alcoholic and that she was getting sober. She got sober during the quarantine, and she actually just recently celebrated 500 days sober. So that means that she's been sober for over a year and some change, like a good portion. So that's always a good thing. Like, I don't want to take nothing away. I don't want to, it's all, excuse me. It's always a good thing, to get sober. But I think what hurt Bronwyn was during the reunion. Oh, she also came out as bisexual. And she was leaving her husband. Now, her husband always indulged in threesomes. She was open about that on the show. But she came out as, no, she actually didn't come out as bisexual. She came out as gay. And she actually had a girlfriend. They had broken up by the reunion, but she said that she was still very much gay. And that her and her husband were separated. And he had a new girlfriend. Child, it was a lot going on with that. I feel like what did it for her, because I feel like they would have let her come back, because that's an interesting storyline, right? You just found out, or you just have admitted to yourself and come out as gay. You and your husband are finding y'all's new normal. You are still working on your sobriety because it's a daily struggle. You still raising your 20 kids. How many kids Bronwyn got? She got a lot. She got like 6 kids. And you got a girlfriend. He got a girlfriend, but y'all still living in the same house. There's a lot there, okay? But here's what I think put the nail in her coffin. One, she got a lot of complaints about about her diva-like, behavior, her calling the paparazzi, her doing things just for show, like her whole Black Lives Matter, protest that she called the press to let them know she was going to be there. So a lot of people complained about that. But what I think really did it was that down to the reunion, it was revealed that she had offered one of her co-hosts' underage daughter some cocaine. Now, she tried to blame it on, well, that's when I was getting drunk. I was crazy. I don't know what I did. I don't remember that I did it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But at the end of the day, girl, you can't be offering your co-host underage churn the narcotics. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. You can't do that. So I really feel like we know that Bravo overlooks a lot of things. We know they do. But there are some things that I think even Bravo has to put their foot down about. And I think that might have been it. I think that might have been it. Yeah. I don't think you can go around offering the powder to the underage churn. So I think that might have been the nail in her coffin, because I really feel like Bravo probably wanted to bring her back. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And last but not least, Kelly Dodd. Kelly Dodd is not coming back. Now, again, Kelly Dodd became very problematic this year or last season because Kelly Dodd ended up marrying a correspondent from Fox News. Now, that independently does not automatically make her one thing or the other, but she made a lot of untrue comments in reference to COVID. She would refuse to follow a lot of the COVID protocols on set because she was like, it's not a big deal. It's just the flu. It's a fluke. I mean, we even saw on the cast trip where she wore a mask, but she had her mouth cut out. And they were like, girl, like that is totally going against the whole purpose of why you wear a mask. And she just wouldn't conform. I think, and then, of course, there was some comments she made. She wore a drunk Housewives Matter hat to mimic the Black Lives Matter. She said it was a joke that was in poor taste, but she didn't see what was so offensive about it. So again, I feel like, there's certain things, if you can go to jail and be a felon, but you want to make sure you're real careful about some other things, child. They should have gotten rid of Shannon. Well, I feel like, here's what I think. I'm be honest with you. I feel like Shannon is probably the person they would have gotten rid of had they not had to get rid of Browyn and Kelly. I really feel like Browyn had to go. I don't know how you let her come back from that. And Kelly, I mean, let's just be clear. She made a lot of borderline racist statements. And the only reason why I say borderline is because I'm just, that's the equivalent of me saying allegedly, but y'all know what I'm saying. Okay. And yes, Yana, she's made a lot of problematic statements over the years. Like, that's not it. But again, everybody has a final straw. And I just feel like Bravo was like, yeah, no. Mm-hmm. Rumor is that Tamara, I think, may be coming back as maybe a friend of the show. I think. But don't quote me on that. How is Shannon going to film with her ex-husband? He doesn't want the twins on the show. Shannon. What twins? Shannon. Which one is Shannon? Isn't Shannon the hypochondriac that always thought she was sick? Isn't that Shannon, y'all? Because her kids aren't young. Her kids are older. I mean, they're like, when I say older, I mean, they're like high school. She doesn't have any young kids. Which housewife was at the White House in January, child? I don't know. Shannon's twins, but her twins aren't that young. I mean, I know that until they're 18. But okay, so let me say this. If I'm a judge, you as the ex-husband is going to have to show me a whole lot of evidence, or the children are going to have to speak for themselves and say they don't want to be on the show anymore. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you ain't had no problem with your children being on the show when you was on the show. When you and Shannon were married, all the kids was on the show. Last season, while you and Shannon was divorced, the kids was on the show. Now all of a sudden, you don't want them on the show? You're going to have to bring me something, bro. You want to bring me something. And I'm not saying that people can change their mind and all of that, but I mean, and they really, from what I understand, they really weren't on the show that much. I mean, they might have filmed them more than just didn't use the footage, but they really weren't on the show that much. When that situation happened with Browyn, that was her daughter. Oh, got it. So got it. Okay. Now that makes, okay. Now I'm going to change what I just said. That makes sense. That's the daughter that Browyn offered okay then. Okay. Then I changed my mind. then daddy, do what you got to do. That changed my mind. Because I just thought it was him just, trying to be, on some bull hockey, But okay, then if that's the case, I changed my mind, child. Go ahead. When the situation happened with Bronwyn, that was her daughter. She was trying to give, okay, yeah. Okay, all right. But even then, I mean, I still, again, I still say I feel a little bit differently about it. But even with that, I still say, anyway, I'm gonna just say we'll see how that plays out, child. But at the end of the day, they can film around the kids. They don't. I mean, if that's not going to change anything with Shannon, because Shannon can still talk about the situation. She can still talk about how that made her feel and what happened as a result. I mean, she can still do all of that. She just can't. She just can't have a daughter on the show. So, well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense when y'all told me that. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So that is what's going on over to the Real Housewives of the OC. Now, I still didn't get a date of when they're going to start filming, but I'm sure relatively soon. Because the thing is, once it comes out who's going to be on the show, they start filming like that. David was controlling even after the divorce. My piece, a friend of the show from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you talking about women. I love my piece, a friend of the show from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Oh, women, love my piece says something. Okay, hold on, because now I see what y'all talking about. Okay. Oh, that was somebody from, that was a friend of the show from Salt Lake City. Oh, that was the one. She wasn't there. Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah. You mean at the insurrection? Oh, yeah, that was one of the ones that was a friend to the show. Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about. In my mind, when I heard January, I just automatically was thinking about like inauguration and Biden. I wasn't thinking about the insurrection. Yeah, she was a friend to the show. She did film with them, and I think they were thinking about putting her on the show. I'm sure they are glad that they didn't. They start filming next month. Atlanta's supposed to start filming before the end of the month. But they definitely going to start filming like in the next, week or two. And that's why I'm sure we're going to get a finalize of who's on the cast within the next 2 weeks. Because they're going to start filming. Now, so that's the OC, honey. There's really not a lot coming out of Salt Lake City. Other than we heard that Jen Shah, the shallot that wasn't really hers, that they said was hers, and she tried to pretend like it was hers, it has sold, and that her and her family have moved into another home, which is probably the house that they owned all along. Anyway, it's a smaller home. And Jen Shah's cousin started a GoFundMe for her legal fees for like a couple of $1 million. First of all, you can't start a GoFundMe for legal fees. It's in the bylaws. It's in the rules. You can't do it. And because you can't do it, GoFundMe took it down. Okay. I'm sure they got a lot of complaints because this is not some anonymous person. I'm sure the they originally owned has been, little baby? You mean the house they originally owned has been sold? It had debt all on it? Yeah, honey, for a couple of $1 million. Okay. But it don't matter because it's down now because like I said, there are certain things you can start a GoFundMe for, and you cannot start a GoFundMe for legal funds, for legal fees. You can't do it. You can be very creative in wording what it is that you want the GoFundMe for, but you can't just come right out and be like, I need a GoFundMe to help me pay for this lawyer to beat these charges. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do it. So it was taken down. That's pretty much all I have on Salt Lake City. It wasn't too much going on down in Salt Lake City. Dallas has been pretty quiet. Dallas has been relatively quiet after the whole Cameron Scott, Tiffany Moon situation. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back to my quick drops. I dropped it about a month ago about Cameron Scott, Tiffany Moon, and that whole situation. Allegedly, Tiffany Moon is not coming back next season, which I think is such a loss. I think she was really good for the show, and I think we're missing an opportunity to hear what happened and to really understand the impact. I think people think racism is just black and white, or that racism is, oh, she called somebody the N-word, or you call somebody a derogatory term. I think we really have to start getting into understanding the microaggressions that is connected to racism. Racism isn't always blatant. Racism isn't always a clear black and white line, or Asian and white line, or Latino and white line. A lot of times racism gets into microaggressions. And I think when we start talking about what Tiffany was trying to explain in reference to the chicken foot and the offense, it was never about Cameron not wanting to eat the damn chicken foot. It was about the language that Cameron used and the things that Cameron said in reference to not eating the chicken foot. Because let's be clear, I wasn't eating the chicken foot either. But there's a way to respectfully decline without it coming out sounding like you're being disrespectful to her culture. And that's that on that. I heard for Dallas, they're keeping 3 and getting rid of 3. Cameron, Carrie, and Tiffany are gone. Well, Carrie wasn't even on the show this year. Oh, Carrie, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the other Carrie. I'm sorry. Carrie, yeah, I heard Tiffany's not coming back. And Brandy's not coming back. Brandy said she's not coming back. Brandy did announce she's not coming back. So Brandy's not supposedly not coming back. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, boo. No, Leanne is gone. Leanne is gone. And I know Tiffany's supposed to be gone. So Cameron and Carrie are supposed to be gone too. I would be okay with. My thing is this: if you're gonna get rid of Leanne, then you need to get rid of Cameron. Like if you're gonna get rid of Leanne for being racist and saying racist things, then you need to get rid of Cameron too. I'm gonna say this. I'm telling y'all they're gonna bring Leanne back. I'm telling you Leanne's coming back. The only way Leanne doesn't come back is if Leanne doesn't want to come back. If y'all think that I don't think that they're gonna offer Leanne her job back, now she might not want to come back, but I definitely think somebody from Pop, who produces Dallas? Is it Purveyors of Pop that produces Dallas? I see a conversation. I see a conversation. Exactly, Zara. Okay, so they might keep Carrie or Cameron to replace Brandy. If they're going to keep one, then I think they would keep Carrie. Especially since, see, Carrie's got a whole, hey, Tabitha, Carrie's got has a whole storyline. Because, Carrie's going through the divorce. She's got a built-in storyline right now. With the divorce, she can continue talking about the impact on her children. She can continue talking about her dealing with what she's dealing with as a result of the divorce. Carrie's got a storyline. It may not be a storyline we care about, but she's got one. Because as of the reunion, she had already moved out of the house and had bought a townhouse. Because remember, Deandra said that Carrie bought a townhouse, that the townhouse development is like back door to her neighborhood. And so she was like, I knew what was going on with Cameron because I knew she moved in there before she said anything, but it wasn't my business to tell. So by the reunion, we already had all of this. So she's got a storyline. Now, again, and I'm going to tell you another reason why I think they're going to offer Leanne her job back. They're going to offer Leanne, again, and I'm not saying she's going to get her job back, but I'm going to tell you another reason why they're going to offer Leanne her job back is because after what they did to Leanne last year, and then the fact that they didn't fire Brandy, they really opened themselves up to a lawsuit. And I'm actually surprised that Leanne hasn't sued them. Because I feel like what Brandy did was just as egregious as what Leanne did. And the fact that they kept they kept Brandy, but they fired Leanne, I think Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to watch Dallas. Sounds interesting. This wasn't their best season, but they definitely have had some good storylines. This wasn't it. I ain't gonna lie. But again, I'm gonna blame it on COVID. But I think that bringing back Tiffany Moon, I think she doesn't want to come back. I don't think they didn't ask her. She isn't coming. She's choosing not to come back. But I wish they would talk her into coming. Even if she just comes back as a friend to the show and only films a little bit with like Deandra and Mama D, I'll be here for it. Cameron, listen, I told y'all what Cameron is. Cameron is that debutante that we've been told about all our lives. She is the lily white debutante that went to college to find the affluent debutante that went to college to find a rich husband and to just stay at home and go to social events and take care of the churn. That is who Cameron is. And she's grown on me. I liked her better this last season and this season than I did in her first season. But after what happened with Tiffany, I'm like, see, my first impression of you was right. Hey, what's up, Star? So that's what's going on down in Dallas. So as far as I know, they haven't started filming or done anything yet. They're probably going to film in the fall. Because as of right now, we know that New Jersey is filming. Atlanta's getting ready to start. Orange County is getting ready to start. And so I feel like they're going to probably push Dallas back to the fall. I think with Tiffany, it's not only the cast environment, but also her parents. They're very conservative with their views and how they're perceived in the world. Yeah, that may have been it too. Yeah, but I would love to see Tiffany come back. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Leanne is a good villain. And honestly, the problem with bringing Leanne back is I don't know who would film with her. And if you can't find nobody to film with you, then. But it sounds like they're going to have to replace at least one other person in Dallas. At least one, maybe two. So if they could bring in Leanne and maybe bring in one of Leanne's friends, and that way she would have somebody to film with. Yeah, we're going to get to Miami, Lil Mackie. We're about to get to Miami in a minute. All right, so we did Atlanta, we did Orange County, Salt Lake City, Dallas. All right, let's work our way back around yonder. Now, I reported to y'all, I think we talked about this the other day, that New Jersey is getting a black housewife. She's married to a former NFL star. Her filming is going to be limited. But yesterday, now I haven't been able to find any information on this, so I cannot say that this is a fact. Okay, let me put that out there. I think the person who reported this had the wrong information, but I'm gonna share it with y'all. And if we hear something later, then we can be like, "Oh, we had an inside scoop." And if we don't hear nothing, I'm telling you now. I saw somewhere where they were reporting, and when I say they, it wasn't a major news outlet; it was a gossip blogger, was reporting that there was going to be another housewife. Now, she's not black, but she's married to a former NFL star, Tiki Barber. Now, if you guys know anything about football, Tiki Barber was the star running back of the New York Giants, who, after he retired, he has a twin brother that also played in the NFL, Rondé Barber. And Tiki was a star, and once he retired, he actually had a great job working for, I think, NBC Sports. He was doing really well. And then he got involved in a scandal where he started dating a college co-ed while he was still married, and his wife was pregnant. It was a whole lot. He ended up getting fired from his job. It just wasn't a good look because, the girl was in college, and he was married, and his wife was pregnant. So she's not black. But Tiki Barber's name is very, especially up in the New York, New Jersey area, very well known. So I have not been able to find that confirmed. Like, I went on to the intranets and the Google searches now. But let me be fair and honest. I didn't find a lot of information about Akeisha Collin. And we know she's filming. So that doesn't mean just because I didn't find a lot about it, it's not true. So we're just gonna keep our ears and eyes out and find out if that's true or not. But if that is true, there's definitely a very, very salacious story there. I always wonder why he just disappeared out of the blue, child. That's why he disappeared, honey. The wife didn't want him in the delivery room. She said, roll the baby out to him and roll the child back in. Listen, I don't blame her. They got somebody new to replace the black girl. Her name is Tracy Johnson. The black girl on what? What you talking about, Lil Mackie? Which show name? Which show you talking about, babe? Not RHOBH, right. Yes, I didn't understand sports, and as a New Yorker, I know about Tiki. Okay. Yeah, that definitely, yeah, that was a story. I mean, that was a big deal. That was a big deal. Yeah. Yep. So that's all I got for New Jersey. Oh, no, I don't. I got one more thing for New Jersey. So Up and Adam is reporting. I got this from Up and Adam. I try to give y'all my sources, honey. Yes, I believe so, Diamond Pearl, but don't quote me on that. I was going to marry Rondé, honey. I love me some Rondé Barber, honey. But I do believe his wife is white. I do think so. But don't quote me on that, but I think so. Now, we know that the Real Housewives of New Jersey has started filming. Teresa, they said, is in love 100%, head over heels, jumped through hoops, doing the moonwalk, somersaults, and backflips in the bedroom, eating all the pineapples that I can consume, in love with her new man. Some of the women on the cast are a little curious / nervous. They want Teresa to be happy. They know she's been through a lot. They know that her ex-husband won't shit. But they are really kind of giving him a little bit of the side eye, thinking that Teresa might be moving a little bit too fast and doing a little bit too much too soon. She has sold her home, the home that she was selling, the big house that she built with her ex-husband. The house has sold. She has moved out, and she has bought a new home with her new man. So her and Louis are officially living together, and they bought a house together. Now, I actually was not tripping until I heard that part, because I was like, you doing too much, girl. You do not buy a home with somebody you just started dating. No, ma'am. You don't do that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Like, y'all could even move in together, but let your name be the only name on this deed. Y'all see what I'm saying? You feel me? Teresa loves hard and way too loyal. Somebody bought that ugly house, honey. Fact that man has basically studied her says he's a con. Yeah, the ladies that they said that she goes everywhere with him. They are inseparable. They said that she brings him on cash trips. I mean, they've only been filming for a week, so I can only imagine that they could have only gone on like one trip or something like that. But remember, she brought him to he came to the reunion, child. Anyway, they're saying that they are really, really concerned about that. The other thing, and again, this is being reported by Up and Adam, Jennifer Aiden. Is it Aiden, y'all? Am I saying her name right? She is on the outs with a lot of the ladies. Her and Margaret, as a result of that reunion, we remember how that reunion went down. Her and Margaret are not in a good place. Her and Melissa are not in a good place. And even her and Jackie are not in a good place, because Jackie didn't appreciate the fact that Jennifer threw out there at the reunion who started the rumor. After the whole season, they was trying to go through who started the damn rumor. Then all of a sudden at the reunion, she knew, but didn't have no proof. Of course, we know that her and Margaret got into it because she basically called Margaret a hoe. And we know her and Melissa got into it real bad down to the reunion. And she even accused Melissa of selling knockoff designer bags in her boutique, honey. And Melissa was like, what you won't do is come for my business. And they said that Jennifer has actually been iced out of some scenes. Y'all know, in housewife circles, that is the beginning of the end. Because like I said, if won't nobody film with you, they don't need you. So if it's getting to the point where Jennifer is not being invited to certain, they said her and her husband have been not invited to certain events. That is not a good look. And she is going to need to rectify that situation quick. Excuse me. I'm going to need papers on you if you buy. Right. If we buy real estate, baby, I better have a ring and some papers. Okay. Crazy buying property with a person you're dating. Absolutely. Especially, y'all ain't even been dating that long. The good deed will make you lose your... Yeah, it will. Jackie can't be mad. It's the truth that Margaret knew about the rumor and wanted to act like she didn't know. They start with Jennifer every season, but when she retaliates, she's in the wrong. Well, I'm going to say this. Y'all know this is only my first year watching it, so my opinion is different. You know, it might be different than y'all who've been watching, you know, more seasons. But what I'm going to say is this. The way it was reported was she wasn't upset at the fact that maybe Margaret was the one that spread the rumor. She's upset that Jennifer waited to the reunion to use it as a weapon, basically, is what the way it was explained to me. Well, you know, Teresa's not smart at all. She does well. Yeah, she ain't that bright. I only watched one season and I got that. Like, I might not understand everything about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, but that I got. I got that. Okay. Yeah. So, Lil Mackie, you probably been watching longer, so you have a different perspective, and that's fine. My only perspective, like I said, I'm just saying, whatever the reason is, she need to rectify it, because if the ladies don't want to film with her and they don't invite her to these events, I'm telling you what's going to end up happening. Andy Cohen has said it. If they won't film with you, we don't need you. So if you're not being invited to events, because her and Teresa are still cool, so I'm sure she's being invited to the things that Teresa's doing, and her and Dolores are cool. But if Jackie, Margaret, and Melissa are icing her out, that could be ugly. That's all I'm saying. I want the Manzos back. They got some Godfather crazy-ish going on. Melissa started with Jennifer at the reunion, and Jennifer read her down. Margaret is jealous because she wishes Joe was that rich, and Jackie is a follower. Okay, Lil Mackie. Okay. Lil Mackie sound like a Jennifer fan, honey. Auntie Dee said that good D might get you a pancake breakfast on Sunday, not a shared mortgage. You better say that again for the people in the back. Baby, that might get you some breakfast in bed. Some dinner on the side, but they won't get a deed. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. All right. I think that is everybody except for this last one I want to talk about. Okay. Last but not least, you guys told me about this a little while ago that they sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep getting distracted. But I'm almost done. So y'all told me that there was going to be a reboot of The Real Housewives of Miami. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I never watched that first. I think they only did one season. It was like a one and done situation. I remember seeing the trailer for it, but I never watched it. But they are rebooting it. It's going to be streaming on Peacock. So it's not going to be on Bravo. It's going to be streaming on Peacock. And I know that they've already started filming. Larsa Pippen will be on the reboot. And we know that Larsa Pippen, honey, we know about Larsa Pippen and her, in the words of L. Teddy, her brand of fuckery. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, babes. And her brand of fuckery, honey, to speak on that. But what's more interesting than that, in case you guys have not heard, the Real Housewives of franchise, but he was in the blogs that Melissa was selling fake, but it was in the blogs that Melissa was selling fake handbags. Child. Like I said, I ain't saying that Jennifer right and everybody wrong, or they right and she wrong, whatever. I'm just saying she better get it together, because if they don't want to film with her, I'm just saying. Larsa in her hot box. Yeah. So that is what I have heard. But what's more important than all of that is the Real Housewives franchise is getting its first lesbian couple. So for the Real Housewives of Miami, we have a lesbian couple that is filming and confirmed that they have been filming. And this is going to be a very interesting couple, okay? So first of all, the couple is Julia Limagova. That's what I'm going with. That's how I'm pronouncing it until somebody tell me different, okay? Limagova. Limagova has been married since 2014 to guess who? Martina Navratilova. So not only are we getting our first lesbian couple, baby, we get Martina Navratilova. Now, I love me some tennis. I grew up watching tennis, and when I say I love me some Martina Navratilova, okay, I love me some Martina Navratilova. Oh, they had 3 seasons. Ooh, I missed all 3. She was Miss USSR in 1990. Now, y'all know it was still the USSR in 1990. It wasn't even Russia. It was USSR. She was Miss USSR in 1990. But listen, her being married to Martina Navratilova and her being Miss USSR ain't even the important stuff. Let me tell you something about this ma'am, okay? She was previously married to a billionaire and she had kids with him. Unfortunately, one of the children died under suspicious circumstances, allegedly shaken baby syndrome. Then her former husband died in a full latex suit from head to toe. He was shot by his lover, who he had called a whore. She shot him 5 times. Y'all. That's a whole telenovela right there. Her ex-husband, billionaire husband, was shot in a latex suit 5 times by his girlfriend, whom he had called a whore. She shot him 5 times and killed her. Now listen. I ain't mad at the latex suit. If that's what you want to do you, okay? I ain't mad about it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. People who are into latex and leather and bondage and all of that stuff, all the fetishes, it ain't nothing wrong with that. And I ain't judging nobody. All I'm saying is that's a hell of a way to get killed. Is in the latex suit, shot 5 times because you decided that you thought it was a good idea to call your girlfriend a whore. Now, I feel like she probably warned you and you probably kept going. I feel like she probably said, don't call me a hoe. I don't like that. I feel like she probably said, don't call me a hoe. I don't like that. And you just kept doing it thinking it was funny or thinking she was playing or thinking she was, ain't mean it. And then she shot your ass 5 times. No, honey, they were already, from my understanding, they were already divorced. The way that's written is that they were already divorced when he was killed. So I don't know what, if anything, she got of his money. Yeah. Of course, that's when El Teddy shows up. Yeah. Latex suit, loving American Horror Story, Murder House. See? Name calling in the suit, or she waited until... No, he was in the suit when he was killed. He was in latex from head to toe. He was in a full... Listen, all I was thinking about was Mother Electra on Pose. When I heard that, I said, ooh. I said, ooh. It does have Ryan Murphy. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't write a better story than that. So she definitely got something to talk about. I mean, again, I wouldn't mind just hearing about her life with Martina Navratilova. Like, I wonder if Martina filmed or if she's going to be like an elusive I'm married to type thing, or if she filmed and we're going to get to see her on camera. I love Martina Navratilova, honey. I love her. Lesbian couple. Now that sounds interesting. And my tune in for that franchise. Yeah, it's gonna be streaming on Peacock. I do not have a start date, but I know that they have already started filming. Safe word was don't shoot. That ain't funny. She drew the line at horror, but not the latex. Listen, some people are cool with that. Listen, everybody got a trigger word. You know what I'm saying? Some things that bother, you know. All right. So we're getting ready to wind down. If the lesbian couple is a power in this mess, then I'll really be here for it. You mean like a power couple? Is that what you mean? Power couple? You need to call me so I can give you the rundown on Jersey from season 1 till now. Ciao. You said 10 seasons worth? Oh, man. Oh, Lord. 10 seasons worth of backstory. I just can't. Jesus. All right, you guys, we get ready to wind down. You know, tonight we had the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the Encore Hunty, the Encore, something else come on tonight. Oh, Sisters, but we're not doing Sisters. We're not doing Sisters. Yeah, like a team, they're tag team in the drama. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All right, let me give y'all my announcement. I know I told y'all I would give y'all the announcement. Let me give y'all the announcement. Oh, yeah, that's right. Trina versus Eve comes on tonight. Oh, yes. What time it start at 8? So that really means it's going to start at 8:45, 9 o'clock. Because if I think that Trina and Eve is going to be on time, ciao. You swear that story sounds familiar. Where and when did it happen? You know what, Tabitha? I don't know. I didn't really do... I ain't really do a deeper dive than that. I don't know. I have to look it up, though. That's a good question. I'm going to have to look it up. Oh, shoot. How could I forget the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Honey, so listen. We're going to say this, and then we're going to get out of here. Erica's lawyers done fired her. She ain't fired them. They fired her. Now, from my understanding, I've looked at a few videos. If it was on Law & Order, then you know it probably was based on their story, because y'all know Law & Order be based on real stories. So if it was a Law & Order episode, then that was probably based on their situation. I know there was an SVU episode where a guy was, there was an SVU episode similar to that. It wasn't quite on the money, but it was similar to that. Listen. So from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, and I even talked to a friend of mine who is an act attorney, it is very uncommon. Hey, King Retro, what's up? Thank you. Mwah. It is very uncommon for a lawyer to ask to be relieved of duties based on the reasons that her attorneys gave. And what her attorney said was that basically, if you cut through the legal jargon, she is not either A, she's not being honest with us and we don't trust what she is saying, or B, she's not giving us enough information that we can adequately defend her. And what they, again, I don't have the legal jargon in front of me, but they said that the trust is irrevocably damaged. And they're basically saying we are not in the best position to represent her. So we would love for her to go out and get another attorney that can probably represent her better than what we can do. So that takes me back to what we talked about earlier this week with the hustler and the housewife, or the housewife and the hustler. Erica. Now, this is for her bankruptcy case. This is not the divorce case. This is the bankruptcy case. And remember, on the housewife and the hustler, she has not been deposed yet in the bankruptcy case because they keep postponing it. They keep asking for continuances. So she hasn't been deposed yet. And so I'm wondering if while they were getting her ready for her deposition and they were, practicing and prepping her for her deposition, if she just either there were some statements that were inconsistent, if they believe that maybe she was complacent in the fraud, but it's something that's deep. It's something that's deep because very seldom do lawyers ask to be removed for the reason that they listed. And as a result, from my understanding, the judge is going to probably grant it because it is something that isn't asked for very often. And so that the judge will think, well, this must be serious for them to ask for this type of remedy. She needs to give these folks their money. She is holding on to bullshit. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I said it the other day, and Tabitha did a review too. So y'all go check out Tabitha. She talked about it on her live yesterday. So y'all go see what Tabitha had to say and hear her point of view on it. But I said it the other day, and I believe Tabitha said the same thing. At this point, I don't believe that she was a, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't believe that she was a co-conspirator in the beginning, but I do believe that at a certain point she became knowledgeable of what the hell was going on. Maybe not to the extent and how deep it ran, but certainly she knew that money was not coming from the purest of sources. That's my opinion. That's whatever benefit of the doubt that I might have been trying to give her. At this point, I no longer can give it to her because I'm listening to what the attorneys are saying, and I'm like, this don't even make no sense right now. The trust is broken. What you breaking trust about over there, Erica? What the trust being broken for, huh? I think she knew Tom was using her business to wash the money. A lot of people think she's oblivious to Tom's deal, and nobody believes she's innocent. She need to give these folks the money. Oh, what was I saying? Erica is innocent. Yeah, I think, again, do I think that she knew about it in the beginning? No, I don't think so. Like I said, when she met him, he was already, listen, let's be clear. When Erica met Tom, he was already playing 3-card Monte with the money because he had complaints to the bar exam. They've been married for 20 years. He has complaints from the bar going back longer than that. So he already been playing 3-card Monte. So when she met him, he was a billionaire. He was a worldwide famous attorney. But I do believe that she became knowledgeable of it at some point. And even somewhat complacent in it. You think it's just a stall tactic? It may be. She may be. It may be. But at the end of the day, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Again, I told y'all the other day, I don't think she's going to jail. I think she's going to, at one point earlier this week, I thought that she would start becoming a cooperating witness. But now, I don't know. Maybe she was refusing to turn on Tom, and that's why the lawyers was like, well, listen, we can't defend you. Like, our job is not to defend Tom. Our job is to defend you. And if you won't help us help you, then we getting up out of here. Maybe. If she is truly innocent, she wouldn't be holding on so hard. She'll want to do right by these victims quickly. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, KK. And the only reason why I say that is sometimes you want to do the right thing, but you put yourself in a situation that if you admit, you have to be very strategic in how you admit certain things so that you don't end up in jail. Like at this point, she may very well want to help the victims, but there's some legal maneuvering that has to be done in order for her to do it that way. But I hear what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I hear what you're saying. But sometimes it's just not that easy because if she were to write a check, let's say she were to give all the money back to the victims, that's a de facto way of admitting guilt. And remember, she could be potentially facing criminal charges. So she might want to do right by them victims and not go to jail. And so she has to figure out the best way to do that. It's all said this divorce is coincidental and odd timing because Tom Ben had lawsuits against him that she could have been called into question. I'm so glad this will be her last season. There's no way Bravo is bringing her back next season. She is. I don't know why you think that. Ain't this the same thing that Teresa went to jail for? I mean, it may not be as egregious, but didn't she go to jail for lying and embezzling and signing paperwork that she claimed she didn't know about? Because let's remember, Erica hasn't been charged with this. Tom has. And we can feel how we feel that Erica knew. But if she's never convicted of anything and she can maintain her innocence, especially if she agrees to talk about it, shit, I'm glad y'all think they won't have her back. I bet you, I'm going to say this, it's about a 50-50 chance that Erica Jane will come back. I ain't saying she automatically will come back, but I got a 50-50 chance of her coming back. Ain't nobody, listen, y'all, I be ignoring Jonathan. I'm not doing this with him. She needs to go. I'm tired. Well, and that's fine that you might want her to go. Listen, I can agree with you on that you may want her to go. But all I'm saying is they kept Teresa. Matter of fact, they held up filming while Teresa was in jail so that they could film Teresa. Jen Shaw continued filming after her ass got arrested. They let her finish filming the season. They let her finish up the season. So I wouldn't be so quick. Now, Jen Shaw probably won't come back because Jen Shaw ass is going to jail. Jen going to jail. Absolutely, they sure will. If Erica Jane is willing to talk, if Erica Jane gets out of this legally and there's no potential liability, like she's able to get out of the legal side of this and get out of this divorce and walk away scot-free, her reputation might not be intact, but I'm talking about her going to jail and she's willing to talk about it. Oh, they'll have her back. They absolutely will have her back. And let's be clear, if all of this is still going on next year, when they start filming the next season, because remember, what we're seeing now has already been filmed. They're going to probably start filming the new season in a couple of months. I'm not saying she's not coming back. I'm just saying don't be so sure that she's not coming back. She should go because they need to break up that little clique that they got on the show. Yeah, that clique. Listen, all I know is I just want Kathy back. I don't care. I don't care if nothing else happens. Bring Kathy back. Because Kathy gives me life. Listen, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to give y'all my final announcement. Kathy, they had an interview with Kathy and Kyle. I saw it I was looking at Instagram. It was a little clip of an interview. And Kathy looked good, honey. Her makeup, whoever her glam squad was, honey, she looked cute. And they were talking about the show. And Kyle was saying Kathy doesn't understand why they call her the GOAT. Because, you know how we are loving Kathy Hilton this season. And Kathy was like, yeah, she said, I have friends who were in their 20s and 30s, and we don't talk about goats. I mean, y'all are saying it like this is some young slang, but we don't talk about goats, and they're young. Y'all, when I tell y'all I died, she was dead ass serious. See, what makes Kathy funny is she's not trying to be funny. She's dead ass serious. And when I tell you I died, when she said that I have friends that are in their 20s and 30s, and we don't talk about goats. I need to go back and watch, but I read a commenter post saying that Tom wouldn't let Erica buy any jewelry. Why? Because then she could say they were gifts and that it isn't community property. I really do think the rest of those ladies knew what was going on with Erica. I think they knew about the divorce. Because like I said, if you saw the documentary, Dana, she was the former member of she used to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She said that there were rumors going around that they were having money problems even before the bankruptcy and the divorce was announced, that there were rumors. So y'all know how.
Okay, check it out.
Oh, shut up, sorry. Y'all know how them communities are. If they get the whispering about your money ain't good and your money funny, yeah, I believe that they knew something. I don't believe that they were totally oblivious that there was trouble in paradise, especially since I find it very convenient that they have had these conversations with Erica about her mental health and how hard quarantine was on her. And even that little conversation she had with Garcelle, not Giselle, child, that's another show. Garcelle over to the on the boat last week when she was like, Tom just loves his clients. He loves being a lawyer. That's all he's done his whole life, and all he's ever wanted to do is help people. I was like, girl, really? Like, we ain't heard Erica talk this much about Tom in 3 seasons. Now, all of a sudden, in every episode, she's talking about Tom and how hard it's been and what she's been going through. And she dealt with depression. Child. Kathy's reality is so removed from us. That's what Real Housewives is supposed to do. Showing child, I love me some Kathy Hilton, okay? Kathy is quirky and does bring comedic relief. Just started watching Encore. Yeah, Nivea is very Kathy Hilton. They said they wouldn't talk about each other's legal issues on the show, and 4 days later, she files for divorce. Anyway. All right, y'all. Let me give y'all my announcement. Thank you so much. Little baby, my moderator. Can you do me, and I think Ebby's in here too. Can y'all do me a favor and drop the link for the Avon link and the membership link just in case somebody is interested while I pull up what I need. Y'all know how I'm with this shared screen thing, so I can pull up what I need to pull up on the shared screen. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. What I do? They wouldn't have went well with LVP. Oh, listen. Now, if Lisa was still on the show, can y'all imagine? Baby. Can y'all imagine how this would have went down if Lisa Vanderpump was still on the show? I can only imagine. All right. So, here is my announcement, you guys. I want to thank you guys for being here to support me. It's a big announcement for me. I don't know if it's as much of a big announcement for y'all, but I got a phone call earlier this week, and I was asked to be a part of a permanent panel situation. It is a panel that I have been a guest on before, so you guys are familiar with it, but I was asked to be a permanent member for season 2 of the panel, and so I'm very excited. And here we are. You see, I got my face on the picture and everything, honey. So the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be coming back. They're calling it the Potomac Edition. We will be mainly speaking on the Real Housewives of Potomac, honey. Scotty did say this earlier on one of his Whether You Like It or Not. So that's why I had to make sure it was okay for me to speak on it. I know a lot of you guys are already subscribed to everybody in this picture. So I'm just excited that I'll be a part of the panel for this next cycle. We know that the Real Housewives of Potomac drops July 11th or July the 15th. And so it's still gonna be on Monday nights. I do not have the time yet, but it's still gonna be on Monday nights. And like I said, we'll be mainly speaking on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I do know that all of us are watching Encore and reviewing Encore, so I feel like we may discuss Encore a little bit. We know that there's a new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville coming, and Scotty did say he was going to review it. So if he reviews it, we may speak on that a little bit as well. I don't know, but definitely, I'm excited. I was happy to get the call. I'm grateful that Scotty thought of me when he had, some people to replace and things like that. So I'm definitely here for it. I'm definitely appreciative of it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm getting ready to get out of here so I can be ready, so I can eat me a little bit of dinner and be ready for these shows that I got coming on tonight, so I can get y'all some reviews, honey. I will talk to y'all later. Little baby, don't do that. See, now you're being messy. Bye, y'all.